So this is my desk setup for 2026. It's a bit of a hybrid setup because I use both Windows and Mac OS, and although I spend most of my time working, I can also switch to my powerful gaming setup in less than 5 seconds. And unlike a lot of the desk setup videos you see out there, which are really just ads for different brands, everything you see here was purchased with my own money. So the speakers, the computers, the microphone, desk, chair, etc. So these brands are not paying me any money. And after running this channel for the last few years and testing and using all kinds of different desk accessories, these are the ones I use at my own personal desk setup on a day-to-day basis. So let's just get into it. So I'll start with the monitor because that's kind of the centerpiece of the setup. Now, monitor selection is important to me because I typically have to compromise between it being good for gaming, but also for the things I do day to day, like obviously working. Last year though, LG released a monitor that for me was almost perfect. It's the LG Ultra Gear 32GX870A. So here's a really quick overview of some of the specs. It's a 32-inch monitor, the panel is OLED and is 4K with a refresh rate of 240Hz. It also has a dual mode where it can be switched to a 1080p resolution at 480Hz, which is perfect for those games that need a super high refresh rate like Overwatch or Rainbow Six Siege. Now, port selection is pretty decent with both DisplayPort 2.1 and HDMI 2.1, so I can use either and get the full 4K 240Hz image. And it has a one cable USB-C laptop connection that provides image output and up to 90 watts of charging if you use a laptop, of course. For me, I just have it plugged into my desktop computers. Now, being a 4K monitor, it's not a perfect resolution for Mac. Ideally, I would want 5K or 6K, but it's sharp enough. You know, text and UI elements seem pretty sharp, and I don't have any issues doing productivity tasks on it all day long. Now for my computers, I'm using the M3 Ultra Max Studio and a custom-built RTX 5090 gaming PC. If you do want to know the exact specs and also how they compare against each other in a lot of common workflows, I have a comparison video I made a few months ago, and I'll link that down in the description. I use the Mac for all of my creative and also, just standard 9 to 5 / productivity stuff, as I prefer Mac OS for that. And of course, I use the PC for gaming. Now, in terms of lighting, I have some Philips Hue lighting behind the desk, just a light strip to give a bit more bias lighting at night, and an IKEA lamp with Philips Hue bulbs in the corner of the room. On top of the monitor, I have a light bar. This is the screen bar from BenQ. I use it at night to light the surface of my desk and also cast some bias lighting behind the monitor to reduce eye strain. Now, this is actually really useful for writing or drawing because unlike a lamp, it actually shines directly down and in front of my fingers, so there's no shadows. And no, it doesn't reflect or shine on the screen. I can just adjust the bar so that it perfectly angles away from the screen. The controller though is something I absolutely hate. It's wireless, the batteries just constantly die. It's also touch capacitive with no physical buttons. So yes, I can change color temperature, brightness, the bias lighting modes, etc., but it just feels awful and clunky. Although it looks like BenQ has improved this in their latest version, so if you're interested in buying one, just get that latest one instead. Okay, moving on, when it comes to the desk, I only have 2 requirements. It's big and it's a standing desk. Now this one is from a local Australian desk company called Omnidesk. It's deep enough that I can have all of my accessories fit on it, including my desk shelf from GroveMade with a built-in tray to store all of my small accessories. Now this works really well to store my peripherals too, just in case I need to clear the desk and build or write something. Overall though, I really just wanted something that I could easily switch from sitting to standing mode because I used to have one of those hand crank IKEA desks and I just really hated it. I also have a cheap felt desk mat from Amazon to protect the surface from my keyboard and mouse and cat, of course. Now for charging my phone, the best option is something that can stay on my desk while I'm home, but then when I go traveling, it's really portable and I can take it with me easily. Now Anker sent me their new and advanced fast charging flagship product, which is the Prime Wireless Charging Station. And big thanks to Anker for supporting my channel and sponsoring this section of the video. So this charger right now is set up on my desk. It has 4 little rubber feet so it doesn't move around. sound, and it has an adjustable viewing angle so I can charge and use my phone at the same time. It has wireless fast charging with Qi 2 25-watt technology, which is enough to charge my iPhone 17 Pro from 0 to 50% in just 26 minutes, which is about enough time to have a coffee break. And at the same time, I can charge my Apple Watch via the flip-out charger and my AirPods via the wireless pad. No need for separate chargers or cables. It also has a feature called Air Cool, which is an active air cooling system that uses a silent built-in fan with optimized airflow to continuously draw heat away from the phone during charging. So if you are interested in the Prime wireless charging station, check out the link in the description of this video. Now for my speakers, I'm using the Edifier MR4s. They're actually really affordable, usually around, I think, $150 on Amazon, but the audio quality is surprisingly good. Now it's a powered studio monitor speaker, so it's got nice flat sound, so not too bassy. And if I press the power button, it changes to monitor or studio mode, which is great for music or audio production. For example, I use it to listen to these videos just to check how the audio sounds. Now I have the MR4s elevated on some speaker stands, so they're a bit closer to my ears for better audio quality. These are the Kanto SP6 in black. Now speaking of audio, I spend a lot of time in meetings and also recording my voice for YouTube and tutorials and screen recordings and stuff like that. So about 5 years ago, I invested in the Shure SM7B microphone. Now it is overkill for my use, but I thought at the time, buy once, cry once. And honestly, the other options weren't that great at the time. I'm obviously recording on it right now. You can listen to the quality for yourself and make your own judgment. But I think in 2026, there are better options. I'd go for something cheaper like the Shure MV7 or maybe even a Rode pod mic. But at the end of the day, you can't go wrong with any of these mics. I strongly recommend a microphone boom arm too. This is a basic one from Rode. I much prefer having the mic isolated from the desk to reduce vibrations, and it also clears up a lot of space on the desk too, which is nice. Now, both my mic and speakers are plugged into my Evo 4 audio interface from Audient. Now, this is a pretty good budget option. There are two XLR inputs on the back for microphones or music instruments, and I run all of my audio through here. It's connected to my Mac Studio with a USB-C cable, and that provides power and audio input from my mic, while also outputting an audio signal to my speakers. Now, are there better options out there? Probably, but I've had this thing for like 5 years. It just works, so I don't really see the point in going out there and upgrading it for no reason. Now, side note, I also have two headphones, a wired one for my Mac for mixing and checking audio and listening to music while I work, and a wireless one with a microphone for gaming. I'll just link these in the description if you want to check them out. I really like both of them, and for me, it's just easier having that separate gaming headset that I exclusively use for the PC, rather than having this microphone and the speakers all set up in a really complicated way to share between both computers. And this also extends to my mouse. So I'm actually using two separate mice, the MX Master 4 from Logitech and the G Pro X Superlight 2, also from Logitech. Now I use two because A, it's just easier to switch between them, and B, they're both suited for different workflows. Now the MX Master 4 is what I use on my Mac. I have pretty big hands and it feels more ergonomic for me for long productivity sessions, and it also has heaps of shortcut buttons I can map to different functions. Plus the infinite scroll wheel is awesome. It does have two negatives though. The first is the white colorway can get a bit discolored after a while, and two, it of course, sucks for gaming. So I have a second mouse, the G Pro X Superlight 2. Now it is overpriced in my opinion, but it does feel really crisp and is one of the lightest mice I've used. Honestly, you could probably spend less from a different brand and get the same or better quality. And also I've noticed over time that the left mouse button gets kind of less responsive. So sometimes if I'm looting in Arc Raiders, for example, and I'll click something, it just won't register. Funnily enough, I had the exact same issue with the version 1 of the Superlight, so just take that in consideration if you're considering buying one of these. For my keyboard, I'm using the Newfie Air 75 V2. It's connected to my Mac via Bluetooth and the PC via a 2.4 GHz dongle, which gives faster polling speed for gaming. Now I can switch between Mac OS and the PC by holding down FN and pressing either 1 for Bluetooth or 4 for 2.4 gigahertz. The LED in the top left shows what I'm currently connected to. Overall, it's a good keyboard. The typing experience is solid, battery life is good. My personal preference would be, again, to have 2 separate keyboards, like a really nice one for typing, ideally low profile, and then maybe a wired mechanical one for gaming, but that's just way too much clutter on my desk, so I just prefer having the Air 75. It just keeps it nice and minimal. Also, both the Air 75 V2 and the MX Master 4 show their battery life directly in macOS, which is nice. I have come across many mice and keyboards that don't have that functionality. Now, for my chair, for the last couple of years, I've been using just this random desk chair that I acquired from an old job I had years ago that I got laid off from. So I've recently upgraded to the Herman Miller M-Body. And by recently, I literally mean about 2 days before sitting down and recording this video. So it's still really early days and it was really expensive. But I justify the price because I sit in it for 8+ hours every single day, and it is more supportive than previous chairs I've used. But let me know if you want a more in-depth review on this chair after I've been able to use it for a couple of months. Anyway, that's it. That is my whole setup. And if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments, and thanks for watching.